Alright, let's get this going. Hi, I'm Kiara Strings. I'm a trans woman, and this is the early stream. How was everybody's Tuesday tonight or this morning? I'm not sure. I'm a bit okay. Um, my goodness, I feel like I've only slept for 3 hours or 2 hours, which I have. Oh, I was so fucking tired yesterday. Like, I didn't sleep at all. And then I just straight up passed out. Just straight up ended up passing out for like a while. In the middle of the day. So I was watching Cat Bats made this. So I was watching Valen Vane's stream and Bicep Brioche's stream, and that Cat Bat made that stream. And I was not doing great all that much, because I was like, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I, what's the word I'm looking for? I fit bisect, Valen Vane's stream ended, and then Bisected Brioche's stream ended, and then I went to sleep. Um, yeah, I ended up just going to sleep while, Cat Bat's stream was still going because I was getting very, very loopy. And even right now, even right now, I'm a bit loopy, you know? Loopy, 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 or whatever. Yeah, like, it's insane right now, you know? Um, like, so yesterday was my day off because it was Victoria's Day, and completely forgot about it. Yeah, I completely forgot about that, so I'm dumb. I'm a bit dumb. I'm going dumb. I'm going dumb. I'm on a numb. It was just oh my god. Um yeah, like I am just not all there right now, but yeah, hopefully everybody is just you know? Hopefully everyone is just, okay. You know? Um yeah, that's insane, right? You know? It's yeah. Uh it's kind of I'm just all over the place right now. But I hope everybody's long weekend is doing okay or was okay. If, you know, that's if you had a long weekend. Um yeah. Hopefully all your long weekends have been precise, I guess, or something. I'm not sure. I'm absolutely not sure. I'm just keefed. I'm just all over. But yeah, my weekend was fine. I played a lot of Hades. Is that the only game I've been playing for the longest time? That seems like the shortest straw. You'd think I would play other games other than Hades, but good God. You know? It's good God. I really should have played other games. You know? Yeah, it's genuinely like, you know? I don't know. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's kind of, um, yeah, my stream was fine. I mean, my weekend was fine. At least I hope it was fine. If I could remember a lot of it, because I don't. Because once in a while, everything just blends together. You know, just like sometimes I don't even remember yesterday's stream. But I did yesterday before bed with my boyfriend watched the first hour of Jenny's what's her name? Jenny YouTuber. YouTuber. I forgot her name. I don't even know how to spell YouTuber. That's insane. Jenny Nicholson. Um yeah, we find like I didn't want to um I personally didn't want to watch it because I'm not a Jenny Nicholson person. And also seeing her video that was 4 hours long, that was a little much for me. Um, yeah, that was like 4 hours, and he's like, "But you watch video essays," and I'm like, "Yeah, I watch video essays that are under 4 hours. I like video essays, but I'm guessing like the one I was watching her video earlier. Yeah, like hi, Arcane Moonlight. How are you? Welcome. Let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Kiara Strings. I'm a trans woman, and this is the early stream where we just talk about stuff. Um, you were watching the Star Wars Hotel video. I haven't finished because that is a 4 hour monstrosity, and we need to take it in parts. So I don't. Here's the thing. I personally don't hate anything that's over 30 minutes. Like I have videos on my watch list that are about 30, 40, maybe an hour, like sometimes 2 hours, And that's only because I don't usually watch them. I play games while I actually listen to it, and I actually absorb it through my ears, just like a podcast. Like, and also you can like, does that mean you also hate albums or movies? You know, because all movies are over 30 minutes. Like, you legally have to be considered a movie if it's like an hour long. Like 10 minute, like there are shorts, there are regular episodes. An hour is good if there's enough content to help me keep me focused. Um, well, this Star Wars Hotel video had a lot of content in it, and it's 4 hours and 10 minutes. And I didn't want to watch it because even though I'm a semi fan of Star Wars, I I am going to be honest, it wasn't until I saw Jenny Nicholson's video that I found out that there was such a thing as a Star Wars hotel. Like, I knew nothing of this. Like, it when it was announced to up until it was finally updated, the video. So I had no idea that there was a Star Wars hotel, you know? Eka, how are you? Let me see. Let me give you a shout out. If you're not following Eka777, she is a wonderful Twitch streamer who streams a lot of Fallout, and she also does TikTok, which is something that I don't really care for, but she can go for all her life. But I'm one of those young people who think that TikTok is garbage. I'm very picky with movies, so yeah, I do struggle to watch it out content over an hour. That is fair. Um, Here's the thing. It does depend on the subject matter if you're really interested in it, because like there is music video essays that I absolutely love, that I would watch over and over again. So I completely get anytime Eka. I completely get your your what's it called? Your concerns about very, very long video essays. Like, I completely get it. Like, if you were to ask me 10 years ago that I'd be watching hour long video essays that would sometimes go on to 2 hours, I would have been like, why wouldn't I just watch a movie? You know? Like, the Jenny Nicholson video is 4 hours and 10 minutes. Like, that's pretty much like four of my streams. Hell, last week I did a 5 hour stream, just a 2 hour video about the entire history of Spain I can manage. But 4 hours just on a hotel is too much for me. Yeah, like I said, it depends on the person, you know. Like, I'm guessing you are really into history of places around the world. That is one thing, but since me and my boyfriend are both Star Wars fans, it was just kind of a thing just to watch this video. A video about the Star Wars Hotel, which I did not know about. Like, I didn't know about this hotel at all. Mostly due to the fact that I had other things in my mind that wasn't about Star Wars. But at this point, I'm kind of burnt out about Star Wars all this much. Like, ever since Force Awakens came out, I was actually excited about Star Wars. And then by the time Episode 9 came out, I just started getting burnt out. Like, Force Awakens was my favorite, and then Rogue One grew on me. And then The Last Jedi was pretty much like, I didn't like it as much, but I respected it. And Solo was pretty much like underwhelming, and that was it. And then Rise of Skywalker was my least favorite, and it just so happened to be the Star Wars movie I ever saw twice in theaters, once with my boyfriend and once with my best friend. Um, like I said several times, Episode 9 is pretty much fan fiction on a budget because I genuinely did not like it. Um, I genuinely did not like Star Wars Episode 9. And then when they announced so many TV shows, I'm like, is this Marvel? This is Marvel all over again, except Marvel actually, like, started out very small. Now it's just a lot of spin offs. And I genuinely do not care. Like, here's the thing I make video essays, but they're usually like 6 to 10 minutes because I cannot stand. I don't think I could ever do videos that were like an hour long. I don't have any videos that are an hour long, with the exception of certain streams I uploaded. Um, but really, that's it. You know, my longest thing that I have on my YouTube channel is pretty much like an hour, like 2 hours, like live streams I did over the like years ago on YouTube before Twitch. So I'm just like, but Eka, I hope you're doing okay. Um, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'm genuinely just like, I get it. Like, 4 hours in a hotel, but she actually puts in so much things in it. Like, I feel like Star Wars is getting in the realm of movies designed for kids. Yeah, I mean, it is Disney after all, and here's the thing. Star Wars movies are technically for kids. They were always for kids, but they were always reaching for adults. Just like I think that the problem is the prequels. Like, here's the thing: the original Star Wars movies were made strictly for adults and kids, and then by the time the prequels came along, they were a lot more kid friendly. They were just way way more simplified and juvenile. Um, like especially Episode 1. Hi Playdom, I hope you're doing okay. We were talking about Jenny Nicholson's Star Wars Hotel video, and the fact that I didn't know that about a Star Wars hotel until when she uploaded that video. But I hope your weekend went well, um, or long weekend. But like, Star Wars, for as long as I remember, has been for kids. It's just that they're not really, the quality is all over the place. Like, I know there are people out there who think that the prequels are really good in comparison to the sequels, and I'm like, I get it. Like, the prequels at least had a full, complete story, but is it actually good? Were the like, I understand for the people who grew up with it, the prequels, I mean, I understand, like, because nostalgia will color you, and that's totally fine. I get it. But for those people who think that the prequels are good because the sequels are so bad, I'm like, no. Have you watched the prequels lately? Have you actually watched the prequels? Because here's the thing, I watched the prequels, and I think the sequels are. I mean, as a whole story, they're fine. Like, the sequel trilogy is fine if you take it as like separate movies or whatever. Um, I think they're fine as separate movies. They're terrible as a trilogy, but I cannot blame anybody who's writing it. I actually kind of blame the fans. But the prequel trilogy is consistent, but at the same time, there are no good movies. Like, Episode 3 is sort of a good movie. It's just that the Episode 3 is like the best, but the problem is but it only is because the first two were so disappointing. Um, I think the prequels are better at world building. The quality of them are about the same as the sequels. Um, yeah, I can see that, but the problem with the sequels is that everybody was pissed off no matter what. Like, people were pissed off no matter what. Like, Episode 7 had the criticisms of it's too much like a new hope, and we don't like it. And then when episode 8 came out, it was more like this is way too different, and like, people were complaining about the fact that it's not their Star Wars movie, and I'm like, God. And so Episode 9 tried to cater towards those complainers, and it sucked. It absolutely sucked because Star Wars, at the end of the day, is supposed to be risky. It's supposed to take risks. It's supposed to be imaginative. And then Episode 9 was just kind of. It had great moments. Like, I'm glad that Rey, Poe, and Finn were actually together. And they do have some sort of great their chemistry varies, but I'm glad that they actually go on an adventure together because, like, they were pretty much separate from The Last Jedi, so I will admit that. Um, and the thing I liked about Last Jedi was, like, the whole, like, Rey came from nowhere, and it's like, you are nothing. You're not related to anybody in the Star Wars movies. You are not related. You are just somebody who was just picked up. You were picked up. You were dropped off by your parents for this whole thing. Like, you're just not special. And I'm like, when I saw that scene in theaters, when like that reveal happened, I was like, that's fair. I'm like, finally something risky, but no, people did not like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? You didn't like that the Last Jedi actually did take a risk, because the Last Jedi was like, hey, why don't we just do something different and have a character not related to anybody? And yet people actually complained about it. And then when it was revealed that Rey was in fact related to, like, Palpatine or something, I'm like, what? I don't want this. I wanted, like, the Last Jedi to keep going. I liked it when Rey wasn't related or connected to anybody. Congratulations on your first rehearsal tomorrow, Playdom. Like, are you excited? I apologize for that rant. I keep saying that I am not a Star Wars fan. I constantly say that, but then I did like a 4 or 5 minute long rant, and I'm genuinely just shocked about it, you know? But I hope your rehearsal absolutely goes well. Um, yeah, I hope it goes well. Um, but yeah, like I'm not supposed to be a big Star Wars fan at all. Like God, like it felt like yesterday when I was like, I don't like Star Wars. You all are just nerds. Oh my God. And yesterday while I was here, have you seen Doom Part 2? We want to. I was supposed to. Me and my boyfriend were supposed to see that movie because we saw Dune Part 1 and I know Doom Part 2 was pretty amazing. It will done this before. Oh, you okay, so this is not your first band. Okay. I thought okay. But I have not seen Dune Part 2. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the reception. I don't I I don't remember the trailer, so I have no idea. I just know that the first Dune was very, very dense, and I like it. Star Wars pretty much generic. It is generic. Like again, like I said, like Star Wars was always supposed to be a risk taking experience. You know, um, like okay, like it was everything I wanted out of Star Wars. Good. It's supposed to okay, so it was supposed to be rich in history. It was supposed to actually have character moments. It actually treated the audience like they were not little kids. But then again, that wasn't always Star Wars from the sequels. That was always Star Wars from the prequels. Like the prequels were made for little kids. Like that was the issue. The Force Awakens actually harkened back to the original trilogy by making it for kids and adults. But um, the problem with the prequels was that they were made for children for the most part. And when it tried to be for adults, it just came across as really dull and stilted. And I know there was dull and stilted moments in the original trilogy, but at least they made up for it for actual characters, action, and no, it didn't always have to be about action. They actually made it about like characters and the surroundings and the complications about war and all that. And it was never always about complete good and evil. But the prequels were pretty much made for kids at first, with the first movie, the Phantom Menace, which is a bad movie on its. It's a decent one-off. The problem is that it's part of a trilogy that talks about how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, and they actually were like, "Hey, so why don't we make Anakin Skywalker a little kid, like a very little kid?" I'm like, okay, if you make him a little kid, that's going too far because say what you will about the other two movies, he's pretty much an adult, and that's pretty much gradually like you can see why he becomes Darth Vader, even if it's pretty much flawed. But the first movie, it's like there is nothing in that movie that there is no reason why he's a kid. You could have made him a young adult. Yeah, you could have just made him a young adult, but making him as a kid, there's nothing in that movie that warrants him actually just becoming a kid. Like, sometimes you forget that Anakin Skywalker is in that movie. And I really need to watch the Dune movies. Not the one by David Lynch. I know that one has its fans, like a lot of fans. I have not read any of the Dune books because if I was kind of like if I thought that the first movie part 1 was intense, I would have just not been able to read I read okay, I did read one of my boyfriend's comic adaptations of Dune that came out around Dune part 1. So I was just genuinely like, like I thought it was fine. Um, but I will say Dune actually has more of a respect for their audience than Star Wars because Dune is made by people who know what they're doing and it isn't being micromanaged by Disney. And I remember when Disney actually was like because I'm kind of burnt out on Star Wars right now. Like, I remember when Disney bought Star Wars, and I'm like, oh, finally, like, George Lucas isn't doing anything with it. And then cut to now where I'm just kind of bored. You know? I'm genuinely just bored of, like, Star Wars and, to an extent, Disney. You know? I'm just generally bored of Star Wars just being fed into my face. Like, I don't know how many shows there are. I don't know how many shows there are in Star Wars right now. Not even in the past that actually come out. I'm kind of burned out on everything Disney. Yeah, that's why I'm just like I just don't want to watch anything Disney right now. But I'm using Disney Plus to watch Futurama, and I'm like, well, we don't have to watch Futurama on Disney. We both have Futurama DVDs that we bought. Like I have when I bought it, the complete box set of Futurama, and he also, which includes like the Fox seasons and the Comedy Central seasons and the direct to DVD seasons. Um, yeah, like because I'm just kind of tired of watching Disney right now. Yeah, I'm just kind of tired. Um, I don't like. That's the worst thing about streaming or whatever. It's because like there is so many, not streaming on Twitch, but streaming and seeing Disney everywhere. You just kind of get bored after a while. That's me. You just kind of get bored after a bit of a while, and it's just like I just want to unplug from the internet. That's just pretty much me. I just want to unplug. Yeah. I just want to kind of unplug from um, the internet sometimes because sometimes I just don't I just don't care. Like here's the thing, when I was a kid, I actually genuinely thought it was just like, hey, this is going to be amazing. Look at all these interesting things. And then after a while it just gets a little too much. Although I do remember when I was at a family friend's house and me and my mom were there, and I actually ended up having. I remember this. I don't remember. I remember it was like a house, and this person actually had like, um, what was it called? They had. I ate macaroni and cheese, and then I went to another room and played a lot of video games. And I remember just switching through video games because I didn't know what to play, and that was pretty much like me, and I was 8 years old, and I was like, okay, I'm just kind of burning out a little bit because there's so much here. Bluey is more popular in Disney right now than anything else. That's because everything else is just sort of like either older shows or just recycled shows. And I'm kind of a little bit tired, and I have not seen Bluey, and I know that's popular, but that has not absolutely stopped people like the Daily Wire from trying to do their own Bluey show. Kind of shows Disney lack of competence a bit. Disney is pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? It's chewing on way too much. It's chewing way too much at this point, and I just get a little bit tired. Like we're all tired of Disney right now, just like pushing out content. And at first, I was like, "Oh, they're not that bad. They're just doing what they're doing what Marvel did." And that's kind of the problem, considering Marvel is part of Disney right now. And I'm just, um, and I've never watched a Marvel show. I've never watched a Marvel show, and I'm just genuinely like, it is. Yep, that's pretty much it. Oversaturating, like that is the problem. Like, say what you will about before streaming, you just watch the TV show when it was on, and maybe you'll watch it over the internet. But oversaturating sometimes is just a bit much. You know, like it's a lot, and it's overwhelming, and it goes from I need to catch up with these shows to I'm gonna take my time with it to I'm just going to not bother. Like I found it hard back when the Marvel movies were coming out, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was out. And I'm like, I don't need to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know? I don't need to watch it because that one show was too much even back then. And now there's like so many Marvel shows and so many Star Wars shows that it's just at one point at what point do they actually sacrifice quantity over quality? And I know there are some really good Star Wars shows out there, but that's pretty much like the exception, not how it should be. And it's dull, you know? Um, yeah, it's kind of dull, for me. It's sad but dull. Um, yeah, but it seems very venture capitalist to me with Disney. Disney, here's the problem with Disney is that they think that they're trying to catch up, and it's like you don't have to catch up. You're Disney. You don't have to buy everything off the planet. You could just do your own thing. Like your animated movies are doing fine, despite you constantly saying that a movie has the first gay or LGBTQIA character, just like when Strange Magic came out and nobody saw it because the advertisement was just non existent. And they absolutely just put in the fact that there was, oh, look, the first gay character in a Disney movie. And I'm like, so? You know? You don't have to, like, keep saying, like, you're being inclusive. Just be inclusive. Just like I constantly have to say to the Daily Wire. You don't have to say you're triggering. Actually be triggering. You know? Like you don't hear Green Day at the New Year's Eve the New Year's Eve thing going like we're gonna change a lyric to be offensive to the MAGA crowd, you know? They just straight up did it. They just like sang American Idiot. They replaced the line with don't want to be part of a MAGA agenda, and lo and behold, several people from the MAGA crowd and many conservatives were offended. Offended about a line changed in a 20-year song, which pretty much goes to show you that they don't actually care. They're just like triggering, and it's like, yeah, I never listened to Green Day anyway. They sold out. And it's like, Green Day has absolutely heard that ever since they signed to a major label in 1994. And what ended up happening? What did they end up doing? They ended up making one of the greatest pop punk albums of all time. Not just the 90s, one of the greatest pop punk albums of all time. It's so good that it ended up being certified diamond just a few years ago. It is that good and that popular. Like, yes, a lot of us who like Green Day know Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, and When I Come Around, but the rest are straight up bangers. And the thing is, this album is not even in my top three favorite Green Day albums. That would just be Nimrod, Warning, and American Idiot. It's not even in the top five. Like my number four and five favorite Green Day albums are Revolution Radio and 21st Century Breakdown. You know, and this is still an amazing album. I just genuinely like a lot of Green Day, but anybody who absolutely says that they sold out are the same people who just want, if you don't want a band to sell out, then don't go talk about them at their shows, Like, the reason why Green Day is so popular and actually just genuinely got signed is because of the word of mouth, you know? The word of mouth. Like, if you want a band to just stay where they are, don't talk about them. Don't go to their shows, you know? It's pretty much like Metallica. Like, Metallica fans were the worst about this because they straight up were told that they sold out. But they say that about every album, They sold out with the Black Album because they were the more mainstream. They sold out with Master of Puppets because a lot of fans didn't think it was thrashy enough. They sold out with Ride the Lightning because they genuinely used an acoustic guitar on a couple of songs. They even sold out with Kill 'Em All because it was a major label thing and they thought Metallica sold out, you know? And it was just exhausting at one point. They even said that Metallica sucked when Dave Mustaine left. Dave Mustaine is the better guitarist, but still, they're like, so Metallica fans are not happy. You know, the only way you can absolutely say that you sold out is if you chase a trend, or if you just chase a trend. You know, that's pretty much as it is. Um, but Disney has already sold out. Thank you, Arcane Moonlight, for the follow. Um, Kill 'Em All is Dave. Kill 'Em All is absolutely Dave. His riffs are being played by Kirk, and like I can absolutely see it. Like technically, Kill 'Em All is kind of not a Metallica album. It's pretty much Dave's baby, and I respect Dave so much as a guitarist. Because say what you will about his politics, but Dave has improved as a guitarist throughout the years, unlike Kirk. I'm going to leave James Hetfield out of this because James Hetfield is a really damn good rhythm guitarist. Like, he's shockingly good. If anything, he acts like he got better as a rhythm guitarist. I don't know how he could downstroke that whole thing. Like, it's insane. Like, James is a really good rhythm guitarist, but Kirk has stagnated. He's genuinely just stagnated for like a long, 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 long time. And like it's genuinely sad because whenever I hear Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets, I hear the raw talent from Kirk. Um, like I hear the raw talent from Kirk. Even the Black Album, Kirk is really good at. Like Kirk is really good at the Black Album, and that's because he had a producer that pushed him. Like I absolutely like Kirk on the Black Album, despite it being completely different. Dave is a shit. He is monumentally better than James. I mean, here's the thing. I shouldn't have compared because Dave is a lead guitarist and James is a rhythm guitarist. I should not have compared actually. Like, I think James is the better guitarist in Metallica, and Dave. All I can think about is what happens if Dave was still in Metallica. Lars is. He's not a great drummer. The problem is he's actually a good and talented composer. Like, say what you will about Lars as a person, say what you will as he is a guitarist. I mean, a drummer. He is a decent composer. Like, he absolutely is decent at, like, composing songs. So, as a producer, I can see where Lars is coming from. He's just not a good musician. Dave's rhythm all day? I thought he was, like, Dave's rhythm? Hold on a minute. Let me see something. Dave Mustaine. Okay, let me see. Thrash metal, soul song. Was the lead guitarist of Metallica, but I should probably go to like Megadeth. Let me see. It says guitars, so I'm guessing both rhythm and lead because my god, like Megadeth has problems with like their lineups. Like was only lead in Metallica. Okay, that's fair. But still, that doesn't dismiss the fact that Dave is still a really good guitarist, you know? Um, I just. Okay, you want to know how I don't really care about Metallica all that much after a while? Like, you see this? This album, Hardwired to Self Destruct? I bought. I got this album 3.5 months ago or so, and I have yet to listen to it because it was a good idea at the time, considering I did have some goodwill towards Death Magnetic. But two albums is a bit much. Oh, look, three, technically three, but two of the studio album. I genuinely think that's a bit much, and I have yet to listen to the album at all. And here's the thing: I usually listen to every album I buy by the time I listen to it. So all the albums I have in this dresser, every time I bought them, I always listened to them when I got home from buying them. Or if it's too late, I usually listen to it immediately when I wake up. But yeah, like I genuinely think that I still think that Metallica is a good band. They just genuinely need to crawl out of the hole that they've dug into ever since Hardwired to Self Destruct. Because I've heard nothing but mid things about 72 Seasons, you know? Like, there's, like, honestly, you could absolutely put on 72 Seasons and Hardwired to Self Destruct, and you wouldn't hear a difference because, yeah, let's just face it, like, they're both the same album. Like, I'll even show you. Like, I'll genuinely even show you that they're both the same album. Like, Carrie was in Megadeth in 9. Okay, that's news to me. I... I'm not a big Slayer fan, but that is news to me. But, like, look at this. Like, Hardwired to Self-Destruct is the same album. 77 minutes, producer of Feidelman, Hetfield, and Ulrich, and Blackened. And then 72 Seasons, 77 minutes, Blackened, Fieldman, Hetfield, and Ulrich. Like, it's pretty much the same album. Like, there is nothing, and honestly, like, you can say that, oh, you didn't listen to either one. It's like, all I've heard from everybody who bought both genuinely just said that it's just like, yeah, you don't need to listen to it. You can just skip it, you know? Because, like, I don't know why people, like, I remember people absolutely complaining about the fact that Metallica went away from thrash metal after the Black Album, and then people were just like, Metallica sucks because they are not thrash anymore. And then Metallica's like, okay, we'll go back to thrash with Death Magnetic. But then they just didn't do anything else. They just started getting boring. Like, say what you will about Death Magnetic, at least they tried something. Like, Death Magnetic is 74 minutes. Oh, God, it's 74 minutes? Hell Awaits is a classic Kirkwood Hammett in solos. Hell Awaits. Okay, Hell Awaits. I don't even know any of the songs. That's the issue. Oh, you're talking about... Okay, hold on a minute. Oh, okay. I thought you said Kurt, not King. I was looking all over for Metallica. I was like, is there a Metallica song called Hell Awaits? And I'm like, okay, very bookended album. I figured. What album is that from? Oh, it's from their second studio album, and that's 37 minutes. All I know is everybody has told me in terms of thrash metal, the best thrash metal albums are Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Rain in Blood, and Peace Sells. Is it Peace Sells? But who's buying? Is that the album by Megadeth that is considered their best? Um, or is it Rust in Peace? I don't know which one. It's either Rust in Peace or Peace Sells. Um, like, but yeah, I have not been in. I'm not into Slayer just yet. Um, but I genuinely do not like it. Didn't like it when they actually had their retirement, like they had their final world tour, and then split. And then in 2024, like the year of our thing, they actually like, hey, we're getting back together, and it's like, I don't know why they couldn't have just said it was like a hiatus. Because there's a difference between permanently splitting up and just genuine hiatus. Like, how many final tours is Kiss gonna have? Because the Rolling Stones absolutely are like, okay, we're gonna keep going, even though we're old men. Same with ACDC. They keep going, but they never have an ending in sight yet. Yet. They don't have an ending in sight yet. But like these bands like Kiss and Slayer are constantly we're pretty much not like sorry. Kiss just keeps saying this is our final tour and then they come back together. Same with Motley Crue. Like it seemed like it was only supposed to be like a hiatus. You could have just said it. Watchtower Energetic Assembly. Um um oh god, what is wrong with me? Oh, it's a prog metal band. Technical thrash metal. Is that what okay, hold on. Is that one of the essential um albums? Is that one of the essential what's it called? Albums in thrash? Because from what I understand, they've only made like 2 albums, and their second album has combined elements of thrash metal, prog metal, and jazz fusion. Um, all right, that okay, that absolutely checks out. Um, oh, that actually checks out. Like energetic dissembling, it's fine, but I'm not a death metal fan if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But prog metal and jazz fusion, now there's something I like. Like I do have not love, but I do have a soft spot for jazz fusion. Um, like an absolute soft spot for it. Um, but I gotta go on like TV tropes and see this. Excuse me. Like they've been around since 19. It's thrash, not death. I may have read that wrong because like on Energetic Assembly, the lead singer of Death had said the album has a significant influence on the band's transition from traditional death metal to technical death metal. Death is a good prog band. Um, oh, would you look at that progressive metal? Okay, that's fair. Um, yeah, progressive metal. I'm trying to get into progressive metal, although I don't know if Mars Volta is progressive metal. Um, Mars Volta are let me see, progressive rock, experimental rock, and post-hardcore. Um, the third album is experimental psychedelic. Okay. Um, but Watchtower, I actually need. I mean, there's only 2 albums, but still, holy mother of God. Oh, they do have a trope page. Hi, Bisected, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. Would you like a shout out? Um, yeah, I'm glad that I saw your stream yesterday, even though um, hold on a minute. Oh, cool. Watchtower is progressive metal, and they're a trope codifier. They're actually a trope codifier? Like, that is interesting. We're just talking about music. Let me see. Um, that is early VODs. Let's go. I apologize. I apologize for advance. Demkeys, how are you? Welcome on in. And yeah, time signatures. Um, hold on. Just, I want to know where to start because sometimes I like, because sometimes I just go on a website and they actually tell me sometimes where to go. So I'll just listen to a song right here. Probably the shortest song, but I want to see. Making French toast for breakfast, and drinking coffee. Nice. If you're not following Bisected Brioche, go follow her. She is absolutely wonderful. But I'm okay, Demkeys. Go follow her. Go to Meltdown. Okay, Meltdown Watch Tower. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I wanted to go to their second album. Like, there's a good reason why. Because I'm not a prog metal person yet. I'm more of a prog metal with jazz fusion, you know? Oh, okay. I just like to give shoutouts for anyone who's lurking or new who hasn't actually followed her. That's pretty much just me. Um, but their first album, I absolutely know, has progressive metal and technical thrash metal. And I'm not totally into technical thrash metal. Um, Meltdown is 3 minutes. Okay, I'll listen to it. Hold on. I don't know what to say. Like I could absolutely, you absolutely could tell that's from the '80s thrash, and I thought it was fine. I honestly think it's like fine, but like like it's over. What the hell? What the hell? It's over. Like I was kind of getting into this. Like I was genuinely getting into this song. Like it's only 3 minutes and 17 seconds, but God, holy God, I genuinely just love the breakdown to this. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, can I just hear that breakdown again? Hold on, I just want to hear it again. Oh my god. Oh, I love that last part. Oh my god, I love that last part. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, um, have you ever heard stuff from I Prevail? If you're going through random music suggestions, I'll listen to I Prevail's Paranoid. Um, let's see.
Hey Tom, what color was that migraine pill again?
The purple one. But not the purple yellow. Not the purple yellow one.
Oh fuck. Oh no, dude. Fuck. Hello?
Hi, Dr. Burkhardt. This is the ER, medical. We have an emergency chest surgery. We need you to come in right away. You're the only one in the area qualified enough to do this. We really need you.
Something is wrong.
Listen to the first 3 minutes. Let's hear. Canadian heavy metal band prog metal and thrash metal from Quebec. Ooh, and Jason Newsted was actually part of this band for a bit. Like, he was in the band from 2001 to 2008. I've heard of Zentrix. I've absolutely heard of them. Um, I just couldn't really get into them a whole lot. And Demkeys, you mentioned I Prevail. I don't know. I'm not into metalcore. I'm not really into metalcore. I like post hardcore. I like some pop punk. I'm just not into rap metal either. I think that's kind of why I was kind of like about it. Because I'm not into rap metal. I mean, I listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but that's like most of their album is just not rap metal anymore. But I've heard Prime Takedown of Exploitive Call into Practice. It's thrash. Um, all right, let's see. Formed in 1984, thrash metal. Yeah, I think I've heard of this band for before. I have. Um, the finger. I have. The problem with me, here's my problem. Like, I don't want to diss thrash metal, but I can't do thrash metal on its own. I need something. I absolutely need something with it. It's pretty much like I don't know why I actually like had like an instance of Metallica, you know? Like I have no idea, to be perfectly honest. Like I genuinely don't know as to why I gravitated towards Metallica because they have some duds in their discography. Um Let me see something like Talented Metallica but with extra. That's fair. Um I don't know. Like I have no idea as to why I liked Metallica like the way I do. Because I personally cannot do thrash on its own. It's pretty much like folk music to me. Okay, not like folk music, but hear me out. I can't do thrash metal as much on its own. I genuinely can't because I need something that goes with it. Like I can't do folk music alone. Like I like folk with rock or folk with punk or prog folk. Like I need folk to be attacking something or it goes into a different area. But it's still folk. Same with thrash metal. Like I can't do thrash metal on its own. Um I'm not saying that all thrash metal is the same. I just need something to go along with it, like speed or technical or prog metal. Um, how come I keep seeing that? How come I keep seeing that they are Zentrix is thrash metal? That's all I see. Kind of, kind of folk with rock kind of reminds me of Nightwish. I was thinking Blind Melon. Like for me, my type of folk Nightwish, I figure, let me see. I've heard of the band. Yeah, Nightwish. Okay. Okay, yeah. I actually need to watch a video essay about Nightwish so I can know where to go because here's the thing. Helia actually played them on one of her streams, and I absolutely liked them. I absolutely liked how they worked. You know, um, although I'm not a big fan of symphonic metal, I'm not a fan of symphonic metal. You know, um, I don't know. Like for some reason, I actually could get into Gojira, Nightwish. Okay, that's the reason why I don't really listen to them because I personally am not a fan of power metal. Out of all the metal that I dislike, I do not like power metal. It just it hits me the wrong way for some reason, and I don't want anybody to say you're probably listening to the wrong stuff. I have been exposed to a lot of power metal, especially on Helia's channel. I genuinely just can't get into power metal. Like gothic metal, fine. Symphonic metal, maybe folk metal, interesting. Prog metal, that's why I pretty much like Metallica and Mastodon, and especially Mastodon, because they actually have something in that sound that I can actually get to. Funny thing is that not all the stuff is rock. For example, you check out the Islander, it's super folk like with no rock elements. That's fair. Um, let me see something because apparently Xenatrix is one of the big four of English thrash. So let me check out something. Nope, not this. Because I'm gonna listen to Voivod's Jack Luminous 17-minute song later on. Um, Let me check out Seven Worlds. Nope, never heard. Honestly, I can see where you're all coming from in terms of like where you are in terms of like listening to music, but this is just like all of this is like hitting me very very fast. Like I can absolutely see why you all like what you like. Never heard stuff from Unsun. I really need to like I genuinely need to watch a video essay for Nightwish because I really need it. Um, History. Okay, I could put Nightwish history, but my God, like National Treasure, a finished metal story of Nightwish. Oh, there's this history of Nightwish, but it's 14 years old. I need something like kind of current. Holy mother of God! Like I know that Nightwish is incredible. You would think that because I look like this, I would actually listen to a lot of goth, but no, honestly, no. Um, People are surprised when I tell them that I don't even listen to Type O negative. Um, it's genuinely people are genuinely surprised. Um, I mean, I found something. How Nightwish made symphonic metal. My God, I can't even talk. Lefty stuff. I have no idea what that is. Um, Hold on, let me check something. Enchanting. Yeah, I got nothing. Um, I'm genuinely surprised at all of this, and everybody, thank you for recommending me stuff. It is it is overwhelming, but it absolutely is interesting what you're all into. Um, like after the stream, the songs I'm gonna be looking at. Well, one of the songs I'm looking at is Jack Luminous by Voivod, just to see if I'm into it. Because I really like longer songs. I just need a reason to get into it, you know? Um, oh, God. No, I don't make assumptions like that because for me, my example, my music preferences depend on the mood at any given time. So I listen to everything from pop to rock to heavy metal to hard wave, and that's fine, you know? Don't attack. Here's the thing that's fine. Everybody listens to their own thing. Like, again, like the albums I have range from hip hop to R&B to metal to post hardcore. And I don't crap on anybody's musical taste unless you're a Drake fan because what he makes is mediocre garbage. Um, but what I genuinely do not like are the people in the YouTube comments who are like, this was real music. This was music that kids will never listen to this music. Never, kids will, kids these days will actually we are missing out on the greatest music of all time. Kids are just like they won't know how it feels to listen to this type of music, and I'm like that is gatekeepy of you. That's genuinely not great of you. You know, like every generation has their like preference, but just saying that kids these days don't understand good music, and it's like where are you going with this? That seems kind of a-hole-ish to you. I mean me, because like it's kind of not great from the person saying it because every generation has their own music, and like I'm pretty sure not every generation is the grunge era or the hair metal era or the synth era or the classic rock era. Yeah, the real music people are kind of dumb. Yeah, exactly. Like, and also, here's the problem. We have the internet, we have YouTube, we have Spotify. We, so kids, like, even kids today have their preference, and they could absolutely go beyond it, you know? And exactly, like, music has evolved a lot since every decade. Like, every 7 years, there's always going to be a new popular type of music. Like, every 5 or 7 years, you know? Um, so people saying like kids these days aren't going to don't know real music or they'll never listen to real music. You're typing that in a YouTube comment section where of course kids are going to eventually grow up and get into certain musical taste, you know? Like don't just like look down because their music isn't preferable to you. Like I'm not a K-pop fan, but I still will respect people who are because again, K-pop is the popular music because they're pretty much like the boy bands of the 2020s. A lot has changed to this day. Ish, even making music that's more accessible to the regular dude. Yeah, exactly. Like years ago, all we had was much music and radio. Like now we have the internet that actually has endless amounts of entertainment, especially music. So yes, even kids could actually look at what like the real music people are saying, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's like this is not for me. You know, it's aggressively not for me. You know, because the people who absolutely like the pop music of today probably do not like hair metal. Back in our day, you'd need to go to a higher professional producer to make the music, and then probably you would get need the help of predatory labels to get your ish out there. And yeah, music industry has changed. It turns out you can make your own music at home. Although that has always been a thing, it's just that even back then you actually they're called demos. Demos have always been a thing. You could self-produce your own demos. It's just that you were just hungry enough to actually make it. And the reason for raw demos is to showcase raw talent that is there. Um, but today we could have like a Spotify playlist and actually have your band's output out there. Like I want to make music with like other people, but um, I don't know anyone around me who was playing music or knows exactly what kind of music I would make, but it is kind of interesting for me. But the thing is, like, yeah, music has changed. Music has absolutely changed. You know, when I was a kid, I would listen to hip hop and R&B because that's what it was on the radio. And then I started surrounding myself with people who are like, "Hey, listen to this or whatever." Not even listen to this. It's more like songs like I don't know songs that I would never listen to in my youth, like when I was even younger. Like I would have been scared. Like I think the very like I remember listening to a Slipknot song. I think it was a Slipknot song when I was a kid, and I was terrified because you just pushed me into a pool that I didn't know. Like I was genuinely, I was just like, okay, that's interesting. Um, but I needed a start point, a proper start point, so I can actually get to that area. And my first starting point was pop punk. Like my first foray into rock was pop punk. And that's how I kind of slowly got into the heavier stuff. So, yeah, like saying that back in our day our music was good. That sounds very not only ignorant of you, but also it just sounds not great coming from you. It just makes you sound like you know everything. It just genuinely makes you sound very ignorant about certain things, you know? And it's just kind of it just kind of turns off certain people, you know? It it always does. Um yeah. Yeah, it's insane, you know? It's kind of insane how like I always see it in like older like music from 5 even 5 years ago, like 5, 10 even 10 like 20 years ago, as recently as like recently, like really really new. And it's like today's generation won't get it. It's like, yeah, you're just really not helping with things, you know? Because it's the equivalent of, come on, everybody, let's show how these this isn't real music. Let's show it. Let's show them how it's done, and it's just kind of like, you know, it just makes you sound so outdated, you know? Yeah, it just kind of makes you, eh. I don't want to say boomer, but even some millennials are like this. Boomers, millennials, even some Gen Zs are like this. And I genuinely think that we should kind of stop doing that, because it's not helping, because eventually Gen Alpha is going to grow up, and they're going to be the ones who are going to type in the comments as like, um yeah, like today's generation won't get it either. Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly. Like, they don't need to get it. Like, not music is universal. Music is not for everyone. So attacking somebody else's generation of music unprovoked is just like not great. Like, I have seen, like, there is like, I don't know, Smells Like Teen. I recently, yesterday, I watched the video for Smells Like Teen Spirit, and there was a comment that said, all these generation has is Justin Bieber and One Direction. They'll never know real music, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know where this gatekeeping is coming from. Like, my nephews on Christmas, I showed them to Smells Like Teen Spirit, and they absolutely loved it or liked it. Um, I let them watch the video for Smells Like Teen Spirit, and they absolutely liked it. But I was like, okay, that's totally fine. You know, if they didn't like it, I'm okay with it. Um, Amazingly enough, they didn't get into pop punk, but they got into grunge. I'm genuinely shocked, because I tried to get them into like a Green Day song, and I was surprised that they didn't like it, but they liked the heavier stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. And I'm guessing that it's because today's generation, like my nephews, are into like hip hop that actually blends hip hop and rock, like emo rap, and like emo rap comes from like emo and rap, and emo is pretty much like post hardcore, and post hardcore is kind of from the grunge scene. So it's pretty much like, I kind of get why they like it, but I'm genuinely surprised that they do like it. You know, it's it's surprising to me. It's genuinely like, all right, you like it, okay. But they surprisingly do not. Well, not surprisingly, they don't like acoustic songs. Yeah, they don't. They do not like acoustic songs for some reason. Nope. Actually, I get it. It's because like they want something more exciting, because they're young. They want something that would actually like turn on their brain. They don't want many slow songs. And then eventually, like even when I was a teenager, I was just like, I need something a little bit slower sometimes. Um, And also, a few hours after the stream ended, I actually ended up making a new bass. Not a, I don't think it was a new bass line, but I actually just straight up ended up trying to figure something out, and then it was just like, okay, I know what it is. All right. Okay, I thought I had it. I thought I had like, I actually knew something to play on the chorus. I actually had the chorus and the verse kind of put down, but I don't know what to do for the breakdown because now it just sounds like any other song. Yeah, I don't. Oh God, I thought I had something. I had something. Like while I was listening to the Xanatir song, I was actually listening to it, and I'm like, huh. I think I have something, and then I was just thinking of it, and then it was just like, oh God, oh, like I genuinely want, like, great. Now I do want to make music. My problem is that I have no confidence in myself. Like I have a chorus and a verse, but I don't have a breakdown. Um, and now like all my bass lines kind of have the same pattern, like complex, not semi-complex verses and simple chorus. Um, but it is fascinating in terms of like when I used to want to play reggae with other musicians, but then again, nobody I knew played reggae, so I'm like, damn it, give him some reggae, give him some reggae. Oh, Axel, Axel. That wasn't reggae. Oh. But like, but yeah, maybe not yuck anybody's yums unless you like Drake because Drake is I've said this 1,000 times an overrated bore. And so far, I don't hear anybody talking about him beefing with Lamar anymore because, yeah, nobody talks about it. Like, I even said, like, nobody's going to talk about it after the third week. And lo and behold, I don't hear anything. It's a miracle. Like, I was right. I can absolutely say I was right about it. Because I genuinely did not care about that beef. I didn't want to hear it. And it disappeared. I'm so glad. Um, what else was there? Where was I? I don't know where I was. I know I can't really stay long because we have a fire alarm in a couple of hours. By a couple of hours, I mean at 9. And I have to wake my boyfriend up at around 1, so let me see. I mean, the stream is still gonna keep going. It's never ogre. I'm kidding. I'm just gonna set an alarm for him. 7 hours. Okay. Um, but yeah, music elitism is absolutely insane sometimes. I probably did that. As a kid, I probably did that. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely did that. Like, I don't think I've ever done that with my nephews because they always ask me what music I'm listening to, and sometimes they'd be interested in it, but it's not like there's a but yeah, there's a reason as to why they actually are interested in me playing bass guitar, and I'm like, I don't play well. I absolutely don't really play all that well. Um, but for some reason they're absolutely fascinated by music. I mean, they're kids. Of course they are going to be. They're absolutely going to be interested in music, you know? But for the time being, it's like, yeah, you know? Like, um, I'm not a fan of lighter and softer material after all these years, but I'm not gonna judge anybody for it. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna judge anybody for materials. Like anybody's, again, yucking anybody's yums. That's called gatekeeping elitism. And any video that is about has music from 20 or 10 years ago will have that. They will absolutely have that comment section, or at least like two or three. There's something I wanted to talk about since we were talking about movies earlier. Like I was thinking about the movie The Room and how everybody knows about that movie and they consider that the worst movie of all time. Can I just say that's absolute BS and how like they clearly have not watched a bad movie ever? Like The Room is absolutely bad. It's incompetent, it's poorly acted, it's poorly directed. But it's not the worst movie ever. Like you can laugh at there is so bad it's good like Batman and Robin in The Room and Catwoman, but it is very popular. Like those three are very popular enough to become the worst movie of all time or so on. And they are different types of bad. Like they're all so bad it's good because of its questionable content, but there are really bad movies out there that nobody's heard of, like Manos the Hands of Fate, Monster a Go Go, um, like all those types of movies. Yes, they're from Mystery Science Theater, but without the riffs, yeah, they're really, really bad. They're genuinely bad movies. This is coming from somebody who has watched Manos the Hands of Fate twice in one day, and that is a 60-minute movie. And Battlefield Earth is a terrible movie that I couldn't get all the way through. I'm gonna be honest. I could never get through um, Battlefield Earth. I only got through 40 or 50 minutes and then I just genuinely got bored. But I can give you one movie that is absolutely terrible, and it's Mae West's last movie called Sextet. And it is pretty much like her last movie where she's pretty much like an older woman, not like 40, but in her 70s or 80s, and she had false teeth. Now, for anyone who doesn't know who Mae West is, she was like a sex symbol of a few decades. She was an actress that was born in 1893 and she died in 1980. And she was considered a sex symbol back in her day because of her breezy sexual independence and her lighthearted body double entendres, you know? Um, and because of that, she was considered one of the most controversial movie stars because censorship, because it was during a point in time where it was like, absolute censorship for several people, you know? Because like it was controversial because of what she was saying in her movies. And the thing about censorship and controversy, like South Park, with every time you try to censor something, it's gonna become more popular. So even Mae West is like, I love controversy. I actually could live off it. But then she got older and she tried to be a sex symbol even in her 60s or 70s. And she actually made a movie called Sextet where she was a older woman with false teeth, and they tried to make her attractive, and it just didn't work because like you can absolutely see like there is a reason as to why it's uncomfortable to watch. Um, I don't even want to watch the trailer, but there's a good reason why it's uncomfortable. Um, excuse me. Like it is absolutely uncomfortable to watch, and like it had Tony Curtis, Timothy Dalton, Walter Pidgeon, and had people who were popular back then like Dom DeLuise, Alice Cooper, and Ringo Starr. Um, but it was not great because she was something that she no longer was. You know? Like, how old was she when she died? She was 87 when she died. And she died in 80, August 1980. And Sextet was released 2 years before she died. And yeah, it was just uncomfortable. It's one of those "hey you fellow kid" moments. And that is something that I don't really want to watch all that much because it just makes me feel like even talking about it makes me feel uncomfortable. Cuz I genuinely am shocked about sometimes like the last movies that an actor would be in is a terrible movie. Like John Candy's Canadian Bacon, or again Mae West's Sextet. Like, it is kind of sad, but sometimes you can't go out on that high note. You can't be like Paul Walker, where your movie, you become a supporting character because of your untimely death, and your brothers had to use stand-ins, and it ended up on a high note, because it was sad. Um, I haven't watched the recent Fast and Furious movie like Fast X, but I'm just kind of bored because I remember watching that seventh one and I'm like, there's no way you can top this. And I watched the eighth one and I'm like, oh god, this is just nothing to me. I'm genuinely surprised that series has gone on for 2 decades. 2 decades and 3 years at this point. So yeah, it's genuinely like shocking to me. It is absolutely shocking to me. Um, but that's just me. If anybody likes it, that's totally fine. I just can't do. Yeah, I just can't. you know? Um, like I still like Fast and Furious 3 or Tokyo Drift. Like, what is with these titles? The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast 6, Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious, Fast F9, and Fast 10? My god. Oh, man. They just become superhero movies on. I almost said steroids, but superhero movies with uh, street racing. But they don't even do street racing anymore. But at least it's not like Star Wars. Because Fast and Furious only had one spin off, which was Hobbs and Shaw. But, Star Wars has many, many, many spin offs, which were fine in book form because, like, it's like, hey, we're not gonna put this on screen, either on movies, on TV, but people can write books about it, and you can get a lot of things into it. But now today it's just like, hey, here's a spin-off. As long as this character is well liked, you know, like at the end of Rise of Skywalker, like um, Lando meets another character at the end, and she was and they actually were going to go on an adventure together. And it was like, I never met my family or whatever, and then Lando's like, let's find out. And there's a close-up shot, a zoom-in shot of the young lady, and I'm like, are they actually gonna do a spin-off? Because that's blatant, and they never did. And like, I'm genuinely surprised. It's like, is it because nobody wanted it, or is it because the actress got harassed? I don't know if the actress herself got harassed, but considering like the amount of hate mail that Rey's actress and Rose's actress got during the sequel trilogy, you know? Like, it was sad to see Rose demoted to extra in, like, the last movie. And, like, it was genuinely heartbreaking to see her only be in, like, 3 minutes of the film. Um, and it was heartbreaking that she had to be that because, like, Disney just listened to that backlash and just, like, you know, Like, there was nothing wrong with her. Like, she wasn't a great character, but good God, you would think that she was the new Jar Jar Binks. And, like, my God, like, it was disastrous to say the least. Um, like, it was. Like, I genuinely want the people who harassed her to go into a Star Wars movie and actually have a main part. Or at the very least, write their own Star Wars. You know what? I want those people to write their own Star Wars movies and be like, this is the Star Wars movies for Star Wars fans. And it's like, okay, then you're actually gonna not please anyone because Star Wars fans are absolutely different. Like, there is a. Star Wars fans are to movies as Metallica fans are to music. There is no clear consensus. There is one or two, but there is no clear consensus because the fan base is shattered like glass. And then that glass, those pieces of glass are shattered as well. It is all over the place. It's like a war in the fandom, though every fandom has a war. Just like Steven Universe when it was popular. When somebody drew somebody a different way and they got harassed for it. It's like, why are you harassing someone who is just drawing for fun? Is that what the people are doing these days? Like harassing people just because they don't like something? That seems a bit much. But then again, that's just me. Like, it's frustrating. I now know how Weezer fans feel about Weezer. Like, there's no fans who hate Weezer more than there's nobody who hates Weezer more than Weezer fans, and now I completely get it. It is exhausting to actually say, hey, listen, I like this, but the fan base is a dumpster fire. Oh God, the fan base is an absolute dumpster fire. Just like Rick and Morty. Oh God, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty was the worst. But you know, they're pretty much like gone now because nobody likes them anymore. Like that's pretty much why I know I complained about Star Wars. I absolutely know I complained about Star Wars, but I don't harass. I genuinely do not harass everybody who likes a certain subset of Star Wars. Um, I kind of call out the people who like the prequels now because the sequel trilogy is not great. They're like, the prequels are good now. And it's like, no, the prequels weren't good in my opinion. You're just saying that because, like, the sequels were off balance and had very, very little substance to them. That doesn't make the prequels good. You know? Like, I understand if you like the prequels, but just saying that and not going back to the prequels just, like, it's clouding your judgment, honestly. Like, I didn't like the prequels, I didn't like the sequel trilogy that much, but I'm not going to say that the prequels were a masterpiece. But if you like it, fine. Just don't let something color your... Just don't let something color your nostalgia, you know? Because there's a difference between it actually, like, sounding good in your head to seeing it again. It's pretty much like watching a movie again that you used to like when you were a kid, and then you watch it again and you're like, oh, you know? Just seeing it as the best thing of all time, but you haven't seen it in like 20 years. From when you were a kid to when you're 20 or 30, and you're like, I used to like this. I guess my tastes have changed. You know, I don't think anybody unironically loves the prequels. They just quote the memes. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for me. But yeah, everybody, thank you all for coming by. This was only going to be a 2-hour stream. Thank you, Arcane Moonlight, for the follow. I don't know how you found me, but you found me. We are going to raid somebody who is playing Fallout 76 because it's still early. So, yeah, I'm going to raid out on Elfin Screams raid. Ashley the Best, how are you? Welcome on in. You just are coming into the last part of the stream. Thank you for coming by. We are just wrapping up, but until tomorrow, because I'll be back here tomorrow, I'm Kiara Strings. I'm a trans woman, and this is the early stream. Thank you, and take care.